Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you just been job to job, months on months, days on days, weeks on weeks? Things are piling up at home. Well, this video is for you. It's about sacred rest. It's not just something that here at H&J we believe, but it's also something that God and Christ has instructed us to do, is to be sacred in our rest, is to take that time to rest. So listen up. So sacred rest, Jesus gives us that example in Mark 6:31, where he had been ministering to a lot of people, and it was right before he was going to feed those 5,000 people. Then Jesus said, "Let's go off by ourselves to a quiet place and rest a while." He said this is because there were so many people coming and going that Jesus and his apostles didn't even have time to eat. And I think that's such a great example, is like oftentimes we're at work or we're out working and we've become so consumed and endured by that work that we believe that we don't have time to do anything else. And what we really need to make time for is just to rest. I mean, it's just that simple. We really need those breaks, and thank God for him giving us that example, is that he's in the midst of a lot of things going on. I mean, there's 5,000 people that are out there to see him, and they're looking for his ministry, they're looking for his miracles, they're looking for his food, they're looking for it, just to touch him. In some instances, they just want to be around him. And even in amongst all that pressure, he still looked at his apostles and himself and said, we need to rest. But we can take some time to pray, take some time to rest. And I think that that's just a great example for us in the oil patch, especially as it relates to some of this work, is we feel all the pressure, we feel all the time constraints, we feel all the money constraints, all the logistic constraints, all of those things that are going on, and it's okay to rest. And I think we all need to be aware of that. And I think those are good lessons for us to learn from. And here at H&J, that's one of the things that we want to promote. We want to promote that rest is sacred. Early on in my consulting career, if we go all the way back to like 2005 when I very first started consulting, I literally worked like 3 months straight. And no days off, no nothing. And thank God I didn't have family at home. I didn't have young children. I didn't have a wife. I didn't have any of that stuff at home. And so no one around me felt that pain or that deteriorating attitude or mood. And so I was lost in that, but that carried on into later in my life in 2012 and 13 and 14 when I started my own consulting practice, and that was all I did. I caught all the jobs I could catch. I was constantly out at work. I had a young child at home, I had a wife at home, and my deterioration internally, my physical well-being, my mental well-being, and my spiritual well-being was felt at home, even when I was gone. But my absence was felt at home as well. But even when I returned, because I hadn't been taking necessary rest, everyone had to go through that process with me. So understanding that today, I value wholeheartedly rest, and I have to practice it. I have to recognize when my plate is full and I need some time off, and we take that together. We take it apart, trying to follow that practice that God, like given in that example, he asked the apostles and himself to go take a rest, and I would ask the family to rest with me today. But I also need some of my own rest, and so I have to find that time. I have to find the time to do those things, and I also have to challenge my rest, because rest is not always just kicking my feet up on Sunday after church and hanging out and thumbing through my phone or watching movies or something like that. Like, I have to challenge that rest so that I can really get some mental and spiritual well-being, not just the physical well-being. And so one thing that I've learned about recently is technology Sabbath, and letting the phone go to rest, letting some of the other technology go to rest, using some of the tools that exist on our phones. Jonathan, a part of our team, was describing to me screen times and focus times, that you can set these parameters on your phone, and it tracks your your geographical location, and so it knows when you're home, hey, I'm shutting off, and only these people can call me, only these people can text me, or no one can call me, or no one can text me, and I can't get on the internet and go scrolling through social media or whatever, and I can have my counterpart, my wife, or whoever is there with me at the house, set a password so that I don't have access to that phone when I can't seem to fight that temptation myself, and have some accountability. But it's for the goodness of everybody, is my sacred rest. And so I'm going to practice technology rest. I'm going to pick a day over the weekend that's the most appropriate for me, and practice that. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the talk about sacred rest. I certainly appreciate you joining me. I'd also encourage you to comment and tell me what you're doing to challenge your rest, and how you're taking that serious for your own personal development, and how else can you practice rest for your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. I'd like to know. Thanks.